Welcome back to LittleLee and Rose. My name is Summer Noel, and today we are going to do an ink brush. So this is a really, really beautiful technique. We're going to be working with purple and aqua today, and like you can see, the kind of like aqua blue, baby blue, aqua shimmer. It's very iridescently gorgeous glitters, and a color shifting purple. This is gorgeous. It color shifts between aqua and purple. And we're going to be working with white acrylic paint. Now you can do these with any colors you want, you guys. This is just to show you this technique. I prefer for this, I'm going to use white because you can really, really see all the colors shine through. It's going to be absolutely stunning when we're finished. We're going to be working with acrylic inks. So these are going to be like your Bombay inks and things. They have different brands. This is Dr. P.H. Martin's, and this is going to be a very, very metallic ink. And this is going to be just a plain purple. It's not metallic when I mean plain. It's a gorgeous purple. It's not plain in any way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by coating this entire cup with white acrylic paint. It doesn't need to be watered down. This is not going to be like a dirty pour. You're just going to use straight acrylic paint. I'm going to use my little cup as my, I'm going to fill that with the paint that I need, and then I'm going to brush it onto the cup. And then we're going to jump right in. So I'm going to kind of get organized a little bit here, guys, as we set up. I just want to get you guys to see it's just very simple things that we're going to work with today. Acrylic paint, the ink choice of your colors of your choice, and the glitters. Okay, so let me get it set up and we'll jump in. Okay, now that we've got the sides of that all coated in that white acrylic, I'm gonna just move this off to the side. I'm gonna bring my inks in, and this is where it starts getting real fun, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna take my paintbrush. I'm gonna get my inks open. I've got 2 paintbrushes ready, one for each color. Okay, so the inks are open and ready. Oop, you know what? I'm going to shake this one up, guys. Give me just a sec. All right. I just wanted to take the, I didn't feel like you guys need to sit and watch me. So the metals all sink to the bottom in these metallic ones. So you got to shake them up really, really good to get that metal showing. So now, so what you can see is I put a heavier amount of acrylic paint down the bottom because we're actually going to be moving the paint towards the top. So the top doesn't need to be as thick. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take the droppers. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to move my parchment paper so I don't make a huge mess. And we're just going to work over the parchment paper just in case I drip. As I'm dripping, you can see I'm dripping already. I'm a very messy worker. Okay, so you're going to take the dropper and you're going to drop a drop into the acrylic paint. Then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to brush it up towards the top of the cup in any pattern that you want, guys. Then just keep going around. Put a drop. The first round I take pretty much the top of the cup, and then we start working our way lower down the cup. So I'm trying to drag the paint pretty heavy up to the top. You see how it gets all that really, really cool texture within that acrylic inks. Put a drop. Bring it towards this top. Okay, spin it. Isn't that really cool, guys? The texture on this is just phenomenal. The visual texture, I should say, because it's not really textured. I'm going to put 2 drops on that one. It's going to be a little darker. Looks like we've got spot for one more little section here with the purple. I'm gonna do 2 drops. So pretty, so pretty. Okay. So now we're gonna switch and we're gonna work with the green a little bit. We can go back and forth. So this is where I'm going to start adding our shimmer. So now we've got a lot of the colors towards the top. And we're going to start. Oh boy, that's on there. Hold on. I don't know. Oh, it's because I shut it when I went to shake it. Hang on, guys. Oh boy. Fail. I'm stuck. All right, sorry guys, I got super stuck up inside my cup. I had to turn you guys off and fix myself. All right, so now we're gonna start dropping the kind of aqua green. Oops, I didn't suck any up. We're gonna start dropping the aqua. Oh no, I touched the cup down. It'll be fine. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, my dropper's not working. It was just working yesterday. I wonder if it's clogged. There we go. Sorry guys, my dropper is being a butt. Okay, and then I'm going to take that green and I'm going to start adding tendrils of green. I might have to have a backup plan for this dropper because it's not really wanting to work. So you can see now we're starting to add the fun and the flair into the colors. And we'll add more and more and more color as we go. I really like this section of the purple, so I'm going to try to just kind of avoid that for now and just go in between it so we can leave that really beautiful texture. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, we're gonna keep swirling around. I'm not gonna put my hand in as far as I did last time. I got a little too stuck. And you can see as I'm doing this, I'm going all the different directions. I'm going up, down, sideways. It just adds a bunch of visual flair to the cup and makes it really, really pretty. There's where I dropped my cup or touched it down to the bottom. So we'll just ink over that. Almost everything is fixable, guys. Just got to kind of work your way through it. And like I said, just add as much or as little as you guys want. It's your cup. So as much color of one or the other. And again, you don't even have to use the same colors as I'm using. I'm going to do this one halfway up because I really like what's underneath it. Okay, now we're going to switch back to purple and keep going. I'm just going to go back and forth between the colors, guys. All right, guys, there she is. I put you guys on high speed because, frankly, I was doing the same technique just over and over, and it's very tedious to watch, I know. So you can see how beautiful this is just going up the cup, and we're not even close to being done with this cup, guys. We're just getting that beautiful color and texture laid down for us to do even more amazing things over the top of this. I left the butt blank because you'll see, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna add some really cool stuff to this cup and do some fun stuff. But I'm gonna let this cure. I'm probably gonna let it cure for 24 hours and just test a little spot that maybe looks thick to make sure it's dry. We want it 100% dry. And usually when you have this much paint, it takes a while. So this is probably going to set for 24 to 48 hours before we get to the next step. Yep, these cups are tedious. They take their time. And we'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. Here you go. It's completely covered in Scotch Super 77. I got the bottom and the top. So we're just going to sprinkle this. This is Anchorage from glittergang.org. And we're just going to cover the whole cup in this. This one, I picked this one because it has that beautiful blue, like electric purpley blue color to it. And it matches the colors, but it's going to be very, very transparent. So you're still going to be able to see all of our gorgeous painting colors through it. Once we get it under epoxy, it might not be as apparent when it's not under epoxy, but once the epoxy gets on this, it will be stunning. Oh, look at the blue in that, you guys. Oh, that's a gorgeous color. So this is Anchorage from Glitter Gang, guys. This will be included in the box kit that will be available for this cup. Okay, oh, I'm in love with it already because I already can envision what this is going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit for a couple hours. Then we're going to do epoxy over the top, and then we're going to keep on going and adding more and more fun stuff to it. All right, guys. And so that one, again, I want to let that sit for a while. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, guys, we are going to jump into this one. Here we go. So this one has the full coat of glitter over the top. It's completely cured onto that epoxy. I've got another batch of epoxy going. Mixed A and B. It's ready to apply. So we are going to jump on and cover this cup. I'm going to put you in high speed. We're just going to really just mix. I've already got the epoxy mix. That's why I'm wearing my chemical mask already and my nitrile gloves. But I just wanted to let you guys know we've got it on the turner. This is the machine that keeps it moving and spinning so that the epoxy stays level all the way around the cup and that gets that smooth glossy finish. If you don't know what a tumbler turner is, you can just, in all the links below this video, guys, I have them listed there. All right, so I'm going to speed this up and we will jump in. All right, you guys just saw me apply the epoxy all over the cup for the first base. It's not meant to be super thick, so it covers everything. It's supposed to just get you started. I use my silicone brush. This is excellent for keeping the epoxy off of your gloves and getting everywhere. It stays contained on the brush. Silicone and epoxy don't mix, so the epoxy will not stick to the silicone. When it dries, you can just bend it and pop it off, or just wipe it off with a paper towel. At the end of the video, that last little sped up video, you guys saw me bring in my torch. I used the torch to pop all the bubbles. Okay, so there's that. Now, I brought you guys in nice and low so that you can see this incredible glitter. This is beautiful, beautiful glitter. It actually looks like there's millions of tiny little pinprick LED lights all over this cup. This cup looks like it has tiny little lights all over it. That glitter is so shiny and so sparkly and iridescent. It's absolutely gorgeous over the top of those ink paints. So we're just going to let this spin for about 6 hours. Then I'm going to untake it, unscrew it here, right here off the turner, and hang it onto my drying rack for the following, I'd say another 6 hours. So at about 12 hours, we will come back and start the next step of this cup. I wanted to show you guys and mention that this, when you make your turner, if you make it at home, I didn't mention this in my how to build a turner, but I attach the cap of a PVC pipe. I drill a hole through it, super glue it down, and then I leave a bar left through it. That way, when you're unscrewing, and you unscrew it, it doesn't flop down and hit the table, because these are heavy. This bar will actually support it a little bit until you get it unhooked and slid off. All right? So I just wanted to show you guys that little tidbit of what I do with my turner arm. So this is just a PVC cap with a hole drilled in it, and then I put a little piece of tape down at the bottom, and I turn it up on end and put super glue down in there, and it holds that PVC cap. And then I leave a little bit of the rod. All right, guys, that's my little tip. Okay, so I hope you guys love this. We're going to let this cure, and then we will come back for the final steps. We got a lot more fun stuff to do this cup. All right, guys, we are back. I have my chemical mask on because I have been mixing epoxy, getting ready for this. We are going to do the hang method on the cup now. And I've got it here on my drying rack. And so what you can see, what I did, is I taped it off. And I just spray painted the bottom the aqua color so it wasn't just the plain white. Because I want to make sure the glitter gets really good coverage, and that'll help give it the appearance of good coverage. So you can see, I'm just going to pull the tape. I just had the tape on there so I could spray paint just the bottom, guys. So now what we're going to do, it's all completely dry. I've got my epoxy mixed up. I actually mixed up enough for 3 because I have 2 other cups over on my workstation that need hang method. So what I'm going to do, if you haven't seen me do this, I'm just going to put a little on the bottom, and we're going to work this epoxy all over the cup. I just start working it down, working it over the sides. It should take you about 2 mLs, guys, to do a hang method layer. 1 ml of A and 1 ml of milliliter of B, not ounces, guys. Just a milliliter. It's a very, very small amount. You're going to be putting on a very thin coat. This is just to give you basically like a tacky layer so we can keep adding some more glitter. So what I'm doing is I'm just sliding my finger and working the epoxy down. Now when you do this, you can feel when your finger kind of sticks, that means there's no epoxy there. If it's gliding over real smooth, like you see my finger doing, that means I've got epoxy already in that spot. I can feel every once in a while where it sticks just a touch. And that means it needs a little epoxy to just keep rubbing it down. All right. So it feels like we are pretty well covered. So you guys saw just how tiny, tiny, tiny amount that was. And the little bit that was in my cup, I can get 3 full cups out of that little bit that was in my cup. Okay, so now I've got my glitter already mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and move my drying rack off to the side. I'm going to unscrew this from my drying rack here. And we are going to put our parchment paper down to catch the glitter that falls out. I use this parchment paper over and over and over and over again. You can see all the mess on there. Now I've mixed these 2 colors together. It's the same colors I showed you in the beginning, guys. I just mixed them together, the purple and the blue. These 2. Okay, so I just put them together in this cup and mixed them up. We're going to do a nice heavy coat on the bottom because I want it to be very, very thick up here. Then again, like you see, I'm going to coat the bottom really well, and then I'm going to shimmy it down the side of the cup. So I'm going to put it a little on, and then I'm going to let it shimmy down the cup. Put a little on the edge and shimmy it down. That's going to give you kind of like an ombre effect look to it, where it's heavier on the bottom and just kind of thins out as it goes up. Just to add a little fun detail to this cup. Even though it has all that gorgeous glitter on it already it looks like the little LED lights. This is just going to accent it. Now this glitter is all from glittergang.org. The kit will be available to buy the kit with the glitter and the images that you're going to see coming up here. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I am just making sure we get good coverage, making sure that bottom looks good. It does. There we go. Okay, so that's perfect. So you see it's heavier on the bottom, works its way up to the top. That's exactly how I did that. So now I'm going to just leave my gloves on because this glitter is kind of chunky, and as you've seen me do in other videos, I'm going to press it down to get a nice smooth surface. That's just going to be easier to epoxy it in the future. Just press it down. I'm really not going to focus too much on these that are way up here. I don't want to get epoxy all over my gloves. I'm just going to focus here on this thick, heavy part on the bottom. A little bit working up, but not really too much on these, because these are going to naturally lay pretty flat up here because it's not competing for space like all this stuff on the bottom is. So it lays down a lot flatter and easier. So, but all this on the bottom we want it to be nice and thick. Make sure we get some good coverage there. Again, my very highly trained technique of scoop and pour. And sorry guys, like I said, I'm gonna sound a little bit like Darth Vader because of my mask. So just where I want it to be a little bit thicker, I'm just kind of going through and adding. I'm doing a little tap to make sure it sticks. So I want to make sure it has a nice coat of that on the bottom. All right, guys, now we are going to let this cure for a few hours, and we will be back. All right, guys, this will probably cure for about 9 hours before we do the coat of epoxy over the top. So I'm just going to put it back on my drying rack. All right, we're going to put it on the drying rack. Now we're going to let it do its thing off to the side. All right, guys, we will see you soon when we get to the next step. So we're at this point of the cup, and it's covered with the epoxy. It's ready for its decal. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to bring this on in here. We're going to work on this just so we don't get fuzzies all over it. This is just a barbecue, actually, mat. I just discovered these. I thought, I wonder if that'll work. And these were 4 for $20 at Costco. And I put them underneath all my work turners, and they work fantastic. The silicone, I mean, they're not made of silicone. I think it's Teflon. So it doesn't stick. The epoxy doesn't adhere to it. It dries on top of it, but you can easily just pick it off. So we're gonna be putting the decal on this one now. I am ready. I've been waiting because I found this super cute, beautiful girl. She's gonna be clear, so all the details of the glitter are gonna shine through her. I am just gonna, we were just gonna put this on here. She leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes. So see, what I did was I took the transfer paper and I rubbed it on top of my vinyl. And, sorry, that's my computer dinging behind us. I forgot to turn the volume off. You just rub the transfer paper on top of the vinyl and it grabs the words that you want. And then you just line it up. Sometimes when I do these on camera with you guys, I get them crooked because I'm looking sideways. You press the middle down first. I rub over one side, and then I rub over the second side. And then get it down really, really good. Just give it some good pressure to push it down. Then you're gonna lift it off. When you remove the transfer tape, it should leave the words behind. And there she goes. So cute. Okay, and then I wanted sparkle to be big and bright and sparkly because the word is sparkle. So we are gonna go ahead and grab that. Now this one, the paper is a little shy, but I'm very frugal, so I reuse the same paper over and over. So I'm just gonna use it, and then I will add those little extra stars at the end. Make sure it's all rubbed on there so it grabs. And it's just gonna leave behind a couple stars that weren't underneath the sticky, but that's fine. We'll get to that in a minute. So then we're gonna line this up right in the middle. Sorry guys, potty training babies. You can hear them in there. Somebody must have pottied on the toilet. Big deal, big day in the world of triplets. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it looks so pretty. I hope that's coming across on camera. That looks so good. Some of these holographics don't show up on camera very well, but it looks really good in person, guys. So now I'm just gonna grab these little stars and just put them on here because why not? They're tiny, but they're pretty. And they do add, every little thing adds some texture. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so it says she leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes, and the sparkle is in all shiny, shiny, shiny. Oh my God, I love this one. Okay, so then what I do is I look from this side, I look down and I see where the middle of that decal is. And then I'm gonna place this down so that way I know to put her right here. So she's printed off on clear printable sticker paper. And the reason I use clear is because I wanted her image to be around this, but the glitter of the cup to show through her dress. So it looks like she's wearing a ball gown, like a glittery ball gown. That was my goal. So hopefully that is what comes. I don't know that it's gonna work, guys. We might have to switch decals, but I just really like the idea of it. So I'm gonna kind of move her around till I see where there's a lot of glitter in her dress. And then we're gonna press her down in the middle. And she's kind of supposed to look, and just rub it down really good. You wanna make sure you get really good contact with the sticker paper to your cup. Otherwise you'll see the line if you don't have good contact. So you wanna make sure it's rubbed down really well. You can use a squeegee or a silicone brush to help push any air out and away. Make sure you push the edges down really good so they don't show through the epoxy. As long as you push them down, guys, they don't show, but if they're not pressed down and adhered, the epoxy can get under it and then you'll see the edge. Kind of like what it would be similar to water slide paper, because water slide paper, if you don't get it on correctly, you can see it as well. All right, so she is pressed down. Oh, that looks so cool, you guys. It's exactly what I wanted. Yay! So isn't that beautiful, you guys? I'm gonna bring her up a little closer so you can see. So she is on the cup and the sparkle shows right through her, and it's just the image, like just a soft image of a girl in a ball gown. Getting it done, and then on the other side is she leaves a little sparkle wherever she goes. Oh, I love it. I love it. So this is a glitter battle that I'm doing. So this is going to be going to a new home for one of the members of my Facebook group. We battled each other. And so I will be doing the reveal. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take this, I'm going to do one more coat of epoxy over the top, and then it should be done. So I just want to go through and make sure that all the edges are done and sealed down in. I used an inkjet, so I will also go now with a clear coat spray paint and clear coat spray paint her down The reason you do that with inkjet is because inkjet ink is not waterproof, guys. So if you put the epoxy straight on this, it'll wash this all away. It'll disappear and smudge and smear. So you got to put the clear coat spray paint over the top and then do your epoxy. So that's what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go clear coat this over this decal and then epoxy it. And we should be almost done. We'll be back. Okay, guys, so we've got two little issues with this cup. And I wanted to show you these because you might run into this when you're working with such a big decal. And I was going to do it off camera in post-production, and I thought, nope, I'm going to come back on and show you guys what I do real quick. That way, if this problem happens to you, you can solve through it. So there's a little bubble right here under her arm. Now, I want to make sure that comes out, and I've been pressing and pressing, trying to work it towards the edge, but it's just not getting close enough to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to poke a tiny little hole, and that way the air can escape out that little hole, and I can press it right down to the cup, just like that. So now we don't have a bubble. So what I'm doing, I'm kind of turning it to the side. I can see there's a little tiny bubble here. Anywhere you have a little bubble, you want to make sure you get all that air out. Okay, now that looks like it was the last one. Maybe this is a bubble. Can't really see through that one. No, I think that was just the color of the glitter. Okay, so but right here, it's puckering. So you can see, oh, there. So you can see that my knife can get under that tape because there's a little bit of a buckle from the curve of the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice through. I'm going to slice through. Sorry, it didn't go all the way through. Then I'm going to lift. Whoop. Sorry, guys, this is not my super sharp X-Acto knife. Boop. Okay, that should have cut. So I'm going to slice through. Then I'm going to press down on one side. I'm going to lift the other side up, and I'm going to press down. Just like that. And then that way you lose that buckle. It will overlap a little bit, but you don't even see it. It won't be noticeable under the epoxy. All right, so that's just, I wanted to show you guys that little trick and how I do the repairs on that before I continue with the epoxy, because you may run into that in the future while you're doing it yourself. Okay, we'll be back.
Here we go, guys. All right, so I've already got the epoxy mixed. I am wearing my chemical mask, and I am wearing my nitrile gloves, and I'm going to be using my silicone brush to apply my epoxy. Now, if you've never worked with epoxy, again, guys, I know you've seen me do it, but it's mix A and B. The brand that I use is Mix It Equal Parts. Some are mixed 1 to 2, so make sure you know what your brand is. And this cup has been sealed with clear coat spray. I use triple thick. It's a nice thick clear coat spray paint. And we're just going to use the silicone brush to brush on all of our epoxy, mixed epoxy. Now you want to use art resins as opposed to casting resins, guys, when you're looking for epoxies. I always have links in my drop-down menu of the varieties that I use. So if you just want to go with what I use, you can. Alumilite is what you can buy at Hobby Lobby, but there's a bunch of different varieties of it, so make sure you're all getting the right one if you're just going straight to Hobby Lobby for it. Wow, this layer of epoxy is really making this glitter pop. It's gorgeous. And the Anchorage, the white Anchorage glitter up here with the laser purple sparkles through it. Oh my gosh, this glitter is to die for. It looks so good under this epoxy. She looks so beautiful, and it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted her dress to show off the glitter through it. It looks beautiful, beautiful. I'm very happy with the way this one's turning out. And the bottom is pretty, so I spray painted the bottom aqua just to get a punch of color underneath there. I will show you guys her butt when we're done. So it's the same glitter, but instead of being on the purple base, I did the aqua to match the aqua little bits that come up through here and the aqua, like the blue decal. And it looks really good. It's just going to accent the cup just that much more. I'm going to use all my epoxy. I've only got a little left. I'm going to go ahead and put it all on there. This would be considered kind of a flood coat, guys, since I've only got a little bit left, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Some of it might drip off where let's get a lot over here on the vinyl. There we go. Sorry, guys. You're going to hear my kids a little bit. Now, this is my first time using the Spin It. I bought it when there was all that hype, and I was just curious about it because I wanted to make sure it was something I could tell my subscribers if it was a good little tool or not. And this is my first time using it. I have not had a chance. But now with being a little bit homeless and displaced by this flood, I'm a little out of sorts. So I've had to kind of resort to using everything at my disposal, and this was it. So It's actually working really good. I thought I was going to have to counterweight it because it's this tiny little thing and this cup is so far out, but it's handling this really well. I know it won't hold more than and spin more than 16 ounces without issues. So this cup must be under 16 ounces because it's doing a great job. All right, so now this is all done. I'm just going to leave my silicone brush there, and we're going to torch it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop the bubbles like you saw before. This is my kitchen torch. Again, all this will be linked under the video. I put a very large supply list of all the different things that I use because I get asked all the time about supplies. So I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. Just peruse that list, guys, and check it out. I've definitely price shopped for you guys. This is such a pretty cup. I'm usually all about mermaids and unicorns, but this one is gorgeous. And just it's so elegant with that girl. Loving it. Loving it. And that spinet is doing a great job. Now I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it. Look for micro bubbles. A few. You can see them usually right over the decals. And this kit, you guys, will be available for pre-sale right when I release this video. It will be with glittergang.org. Sorry, there was a little spot there that looked like it had no epoxy. Going in with my finger. Have a paper towel, wipe it off. Sorry, you can hear all my turners groaning. They're all around me. There we go. All right, guys, so she's just going to spin. I'm going to let her go for probably about 10 hours. Then we'll put her on the drying rack. Every time I think there's no epoxy somewhere, I touch it, and then there's epoxy there. So I'm going to stop touching it. Stop touching it! Okay, guys, so she's just going to spin, and we'll be back. Okay, guys, she's got the coat of epoxy on top of her. You can see it's just super pretty. Her silhouette is just very, very pretty on here. And you can see the glitter. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted the glitter to show through and just have, like, the subtle image of her there. And then the decal looks fantastic. Even without her on the back, the decal looks so good on this cup. And this glitter is ridiculously sparkly. I don't know if you see that. The glitter up here, you can see it looks like little purple lasers in this glitter up here. It's gorgeous. Like, the glitter makes this cup for sure, plus this decal. I love, and I'm glad that I did that with the sparkle and made it slightly different. It's just a very, very pretty cup. And there's the bottom with the aqua. Ooh, that looks really dark, but it's not that dark in person. It's looking dark on the camera. But you can just see that beautiful sparkle. There she is again. So pretty. So we will now consider this cup all done. She's got a nice glossy surface. It's beautiful. I hope you guys learned something good on this one. It was just fun to show you how to work with the inks and brushing, the brush techniques to get these like feathery brush techniques of color. And then the slight ombre of the chunky mix going up the cup. It's just really, really pretty, and this glitter is stunning. So the glitter kit for this one, you guys, will be available through glittergang.org. The coupon code is LittleLee and Rose, and it's the and sign, not the word. I will have all this in the links below this tutorial, so it should be pretty easy for you guys to locate it. Click and purchase if you want to get the kit for this one. We just do that to make it a little easier for you guys if you want the decals and everything and the glitter. I hope you guys learned something. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye, guys.